I'll do a Hades spear run. Just to see if this actually works as well as I think it works. I'll still stick to Antas. It solves more problems than Meg. I'll do the same setup. Seems like this setup is just very good in general. Unless you really can't do damage control. In this case I would actually almost prefer going for damage control 1 and convenience fee 2. Yeah, I think this is actually okay.
Do your worst, Father. Lady Athena.
Divine Dash.
Got you.
I'll take the big HP. The palm doesn't really help me, so even if I fail this, it's like fine.
I have a delicious onion waiting.
I might fail this very easily. Okay, looking much better already. Cool. That's a good buffer. Oh, whoops. Just tanked all of the beam.
Come, riches.
So do I even want this hammer? Flurry Jab is out of the pool because this is Hades' spear. I guess the spin ones are okay, just not great. Massive spin is fine, except I'm running damage control, so I don't really get to like benefit from the damage. Quick spin is okay, but it's totally not necessary. But if it goes up against gold, I might as well just pick it up. Because gold is quite bad. Extending jab is still okay. I'm not really convinced I even want to go for the serrated point. Well, I was actually kind of hoping I would see it. Flaring spin kind of just doesn't do anything. It's gonna be massive spin or triple jab. I guess massive spin is like it's more for the radius than the damage. Try it? You mean flaring? I mean, just how do you even get to benefit from this? The sturdy doesn't really do anything because, I mean, well, yeah, it's just not very good, and the damage isn't really gonna help you. Yeah, these all are bad bosses. Massive spin at least comes with a little bit of utility. So does triple jab, but I don't know. I'll try Massive Spin. It's more for the radius than the damage. Orange juice, yeah. Legendary juice. Oh, whoops. That Zeus is very tempting. I mean, I might as well. I don't need the mid shop necessarily. I'm gonna take the Zeus attack for sure. Well, there's a call. But I really want to attack.
Let's see what else.
There we go.
Lord Zeus's strength.
Will I be drinking gluggy? How do you even know that word? Where's that word from anyway? Is it even a Finnish, I mean, English word? Isn't it called glühwein? Well, I guess that's a German word, but... So yeah, we have gluggy. It's like with a... Yeah, this is how we call it. With like a weird... is the vocal. This is a tasty looking trial.
Fishing point.
Yeah, Zeus attack is in general just one of the better attacks. I'll take the call.
She won't like this.
I'm not a fan of these witches, especially when they teleport. They are quite nasty. Like you just don't want to get surrounded by witches. That's when you're gonna get hurt. But you can't really avoid that when they are teleporting. So even going for a DD here is just extremely, like it's very fishy. Is this the last one? I believe it is, so I can go for a DD here. Roll.
How about a different set of choices?
Easy every time. I'll take Poseidon, even if it can't be anything very good. I'll take it anyway. I'll take an epic boon and I'll take a core boon. I mean, sure. These are clone of witches. They are never really too nice. Okay, very strong Tartarus. Just very strong. They still Aphrodite. I kind of thought I had four guards already. I just had a lot of boons. Anyway, I don't want this Aphrodite. I'll take this Hermes. So do I just take Hyper Sprint? I think it's good enough. Means that I don't have to roll. And it can lead to Hyper Delivery. Well, Rush Delivery.
Hope she's not mad.
I don't know which order the damage applies. I don't know if it's gonna be spin first or Zeus first. Even if you hit damage control, you still see the normal damage number. It's hard to tell which one it is, and it kind of doesn't matter too much, I think. Like, even if you spin at damage control, it's still gonna leave the debuff.
Should I change things up?
I don't think I need that.
Nowhere to go but up.
I had only 1 minute left and 10 seconds after that Tartarus. And this is with the lightning strike. Actually, I skipped the mid boss, so I mean mid sharp. So yeah, that makes some sense. But it would have been slower if I didn't have Zeus attack. Just wondering if Divine Dash is the start you want to do with Hades Spear. I guess it's like good enough, but I actually feel like the other choice would be just Zeus attack. It's just very good in general, but then you don't have deflect. So I don't know. Gold, sure. This kind of feels like early access high heat. Because in early access high heat, the timer was different. It was biome specific. It didn't like carry over. Which meant that you had way too much time for Tartarus and Asphodel, and way too little time for Elysium and Styx. And you would just do every treasure trove you see in Asphodel and Tartarus. No, Divine Dash is pretty much the only dash I'm looking for. You could potentially do Tidal Dash, but Divine Dash is just safer. That's how it is. And since you kind of want Athena in general, just to have a core boon from Athena to enable DDs, might as well pick up the Divine Dash. Call is another good option, but there are other options for call. Rip Streak, yeah.
Must be something I can use.
Got up to 10 wins, which is quite good.
Cheers, mate.
This one is epic, but I really want Jolted or Double Strike, either one.
Hate to be ungrateful here.
Okay.
It's my hair sticking out. Let's do this again sometime, alright?
Jolted is very good. The reason for Lucky Tooth is it's good. Well, normally people go for Acorn. Because you just want survivability. But Acorn doesn't save you in normal chambers, where it's still easy to die, like very possible. And it's about as good as Acorn anyway, against bosses. But like, if you die in normal chamber and you have Acorn on, instead of Lucky Tooth, you just feel a little stupid.
Power of Olympus.
I think Jolted is better.
Message for me.
Yeah, at least to me,
Not what
Lucky Tooth makes a little bit more sense. Ooh, dodge is pretty good. Do I take this? Also, why is Lucky Tooth behind Athena? Is that really how it works? The new ones get added to the left side? Because I think I had the DD before Lucky Tooth. So actually I should have gone for Acorn then, I think. Like the Lucky Tooth is only gonna help me after I lose my DD. Tooth is not always last. I'm pretty sure that if you take up Lucky Tooth first and then get a DD, I'm pretty sure that you get to use your Lucky Tooth. Well, no. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. Yeah. Well, usually I don't even have DD at this point. I'm not really looking to get one in Tartarus unless it's from a trial, because you still need to like sell a boon. That's something I never really thought about. Well, the more you know. Can I sell something? It's not like I really want to sell anything. I think I'm gonna sell Double Strike or Hyper Sprint. Anyway, I can't afford anything from the shop. So I'll just take the HP. Just get Chaos Legendary. Oof. I kind of realized I never pick Chaos Gates anyway. The only reason really to go for Chaos
Exactly. I need to kill you once again.
would be if you're running Tight Deadline 3 and you want to save time. Like, you have to usually invest a lot of rerolls into Chaos if you want something good, which is kind of problematic. This fight is usually very easy with Jolted. You just run around. I'll say that Chaos is a little bit better to pick up if you can benefit from both attack and special damage. But those aspects are very few. It's only like Zeus Shield, maybe Chiron. But even with Chiron, you kind of just want to focus on one of those. Like, what else is there? It's also fine for cast-related stuff. Well, I guess there's also attack and dash strike, yeah. So I guess it's, yeah, something like that. And something like Beowulf, where you can kind of benefit from casts and attack. So at least with Beowulf, there's like extra cast damage, dash strike and attack. Same goes for Hera. And there's also health, which is always like pretty much the best option. But unless you see epic boons from Chaos, it's usually quite underwhelming. Because you just really want high rarity from Chaos. Like, for example, HP, I think at common you get like 32 HP or something like that. And at epic you get like 72, which is a huge increase. Like, it's better than an Erebus Gate. But even then you have to just... you need to suffer through the curse.
Got anything else?
Sprint. So this Lucky Tooth kind of just feels a bit stupid at the moment. It still does the job, but it means that I'm gonna lose a DD before I get to lose, like, benefit from the Lucky Tooth. So do I just go for Acorn? In some cases, the Acorn will save me this DD. And I'm not really worried about this Elysium. Like, my setup is pretty good. So I might as well just go a little bit greedy. Take the Acorn. And I feel like in Styx, Acorn is generally a little bit more useful than Skeletooth. Because Hades hits very hard.
Closer.
Minotaur mini-boss. Yeah. It's kind of weird why... or how EM3 affects the fight, but middle management doesn't affect the mini-boss fight with Asterius. Do I have a hammer? I have massive spin. Kind of have a lot of HP too. I kind of wish I find serrated point here, just to feel it out. It's still good with Zeus attack, I think. But like, is it safe enough to pick up? Is what I want to know. Well, there's a red point. I'm gonna take it. Okay.
In the name of Hades.
Well, what are these? I don't even need Storm Lightning because I have Double Strike. Like the legendary is already enabled. Lightning Reflexes pretty much does nothing. So I might as well just take the special to fill a boon slot.
Let's see what's in here.
Also, here's something I can do. Well, I can gain the gold from this, but even if I didn't, I could just die here, reset a little bit of HP, and carry on to the next chamber. But this was easy enough.
Worthless wretches. Excellent.
Do I even need the palm? I don't know. It's good for call, but kind of like HP. Also, I didn't even die to heal up, but I got the gold. I guess that's good enough. So that kind of stuff can happen kind of easily with Red Point. It is easier to get hit for sure. I don't want to die here. Okay. So like, Red Point is good for damage, but is it worth picking up when you don't have to stress the timer? Is what I would like to know. Heaven's Vengeance seems I'm getting hit a lot. Or just Electric Shot. It's usually good to have your core boon slots filled. It's easier to find tier 2s and even legendaries. Yeah, the short and dash, you can really feel it. I mean, Heaven's Vengeance doesn't really do much. Blessed Paddy. I can take this. I'll even get to pawn. Demeter. Okay, even chill isn't terrible. Yeah, 40 hit streak died with Achilles Spear. That was run number 11. But instead of starting a new one from like Guan Yu and the rest of the crappy stuff, I feel like I want to just play the other aspects. Because otherwise I'm just gonna do a bunch of Guan Yu runs until the end of time. I don't really like that idea. I don't think I want this exchange, even if Chill is quite good. The reason why I could go for it is I can still get to use like jolted damage with just the cast or even the call. Honestly, it's not even a bad idea. But then again, like, exchanges are bad because you need to sell something and you don't get an extra boon this way. That's really the reason why you don't really want exchanges, not very often at least. There's a lot of stuff I don't want to sell. So I think I just need to pick a sellable. Trial seems like a good idea. Well, this is a new streak. Kind of. This is currently a streak of 1. If I win this one, it's gonna be a streak of 2. But I just feel like there's still a fair bit for me to learn when it comes to 40 heat streaks. So I just like to experiment a little bit with some of the stuff that I'm not too sure about. Stuff like serrated point. There's another DD I could get, but not much else. I think Holy Shield is a good idea. If I take the gold, I have enough money to buy another boon. I have enough boons. Palm is actually okay. How confident am I doing 3 times 50 heat? Not very confident. 50 heat means that I would need to... Like, there's just a lot of bad stuff in 50 heat. Like, you need to be fast. Which means that you kind of have to get lucky with boons. And then you need to be able to do EM4, which is, like, terrible. Like, by default, if you get a 5 sag, you pretty much just lose 50 heat. But at 40 heat, if I get a 5 sag, it's usually not a problem at all. And yeah, I'm just pretty bad at the EM4 fight in general. I pretty much just have no experience. Like, I haven't practiced EM4 at all. Yeah, 100 viewers. Ooh, sure. I think the most viewers I had is like 180. And I believe that was like when doing 40 heat win streak. And that's when I got to like 15 wins. There's a lot of lightning. Five sec means that in Styx chambers you don't know where the sack is going to be, and you need the sack in order to advance to Hades through Cerberus. And it's all just up to RNG where the sack is. It can never be the first wing, but it can be either the second, third, fourth or fifth wing. There's no way of knowing. It's just that when you reach the end of second wing, the game is going to roll based on RNG value, whether you see the sack or not. And same applies to 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Well, if you haven't seeded by 5th, it's always going to be there. Yeah, it just can't be the first one. That's how they made it for some reason. So what's in here? There's an Athena. Do I want this Athena? I can't get a DD from here, because there's no way of losing the Death Defiance. Like, even if I get to see a DD, it wouldn't actually give me an extra one. At this level, you don't want to take too many wings if your timer is running out. Like, there's a timer here on the left corner, bottom left corner, and it's actually from this packed option. This is only the second. I put only 2 points in here, but if you put 3 points in here, it's going to be extremely tight, and it's hard to even beat the timer. And if the timer runs out, you just start taking damage, and a lot of it, and you just die to the timer. So at 50 heat, you pretty much have to go for the put on 3 points in the timer heat option, which means that you really have to rush through the game. And at the same time, it's just going to be a lot of the heat options just make it so that you can't put together a very good build, or if you can, it's not going to happen very often. And even the enemies are like, there's more enemies and they have more HP possibly, or they are just tougher to deal with. So at 50 heat, the game is generally just hard to survive. You have a shitty build, and you would still need to be like very fast. So the game gets just exponentially harder the higher you ramp up the heat. So while 40 heat is somewhat streakable and winnable a lot of the time, 50 heat is already like way harder. There's a lot of aspects that don't even have a 50 heat victory at all. Like the highest heat clear for a lot of aspects is like 45-ish. And I guess it's both lack of effort and interest, but also it's just hard. If I take this last stand, you still get the bonus restoration, which is 14%, but that's not very... it's not very much. And if I take this, I can't get it later. Like, there's still one Athena in the chambers left. I'll just pick out the blinding flash, it's okay. I don't want this other stuff, but yeah, I'll just buy this one. Jolted or Zeusade? Kinda doesn't matter too much, but guess I'll do Jolted. On SGG's Discord, like the official Discord for this game, which you can see on the main screen of the game, there's a channel for, it's called High Heat Strategies or something like that. And the people there actually update a list which has the highest clears known for each aspect. I should die here to heal a little bit. Come on. in general, there aren't too many people who actually do high hit runs. Especially like the 50 plus hit ones. First of all, they are pretty hard, and second of all, it's kind of a... I don't know, it's just very hard. There are way more speedrunners for this game than there are people who do high hit.
Just what I wanted.
Yeah, I'll palm call.
Heading back. I bet it's in here.
I should die in this chamber. The patty potion is about to run out. Now I should just try to keep my HP high.
What's in the pool this time? Here we are. A sack fit for a huge three-headed hound.
These are pretty bad. Like even bronze skin is only 5%. Kind of doesn't do anything. Like even if I take 95 damage instead of 100, it's still gonna be 2 hits before I die. Doesn't make a difference. Just take Proudberry.
Bit of an aftertaste. Maybe we'll explore more tunnels.
Well, I have a lot of HP and even 20% dodge
Another gap, huh?
and an extra DD and a lot of damage. Like this is a good setup. Kind of a lucky run, I would say. Like the only hard thing here is that I have serrated point and no extra dashes. I never get perfect catches anyway.
Hate to keep you from your parchment work.
The other bad thing about serrated point is just like usually you just want to hold on to your dashes when it comes to like forced overtime 2 Hades fight. Otherwise it's just easy to get hit. But with serrated point you just need to dash to do damage. This lightning is very noisy. Yeah, that wasn't too hard. I just had crazy damage. know you. I see you kept your promise, Zoltan Slayer.
Right now.
Wait, where is Zoltan from? Is it from FTL? Are they called Zoltan? Yeah, good run. I mean, pretty easy. Yeah, I didn't take damage, but I had a few dodges, I think. At least one. And I had the acorn. I used all the charges from the acorn. So, technically no health lost, but I did tank a few hits. 5 or 6, in fact.